Just get the post-match interview here at Creasy Park following today's 2-1 win over Dunstable Town. Dave, first league win. I would say first 10 minutes we were probably on the back foot a little bit. Then we get our noses in front. We then get a second. But after being in total control for the majority of the second half, all of a sudden they get a goal out of nothing really to halve the deficit, and it just seemed like everything was going against us in terms of decisions, and obviously Laurie had to go off as well, but then we got asked some real questions in the last sort of 10-15 minutes, and we've come through it and dug deep and got the 3 points.
Yeah, a lot of questions there, and I'll try and answer them as quick as I can, but I agree. I mean, the first 10 was we didn't look like we could put a pass together, if I'm honest with you, so we kept giving them the ball, and obviously teams like these and Dunstable, you don't want to give them, these and Hartford, sorry, you don't want to give them the ball because they're going to punish you, or they normally punish you. They didn't, and you're right, we go and get a penalty, and Bondi tucks away. We then score a good second, and we're having a great deal of the play then. And then second half, you know, you slightly alluded to it, we had some strange decisions today, and I think in every time you've spoken to us, I've never complained about officials and things, but one or two decisions today have been left us a bit bemused. You know, Amir's in the box, he turns his man, he's just pulled down, it's straight through him, and he doesn't give a penalty. We've had Amir chopped down about 3 or 4 times, there's not even a word to people, and it just felt like one of them days you're thinking, you know, I said it, something's going here, and I don't know what it was. It was very surreal. We had 3 players booked in 2 in the first half, 1 for a challenge on the keeper, which he holds and he goes down afterwards, 1 on Ethan, which I can potentially say okay, and 1 in the second half for a shirt pull. Yet there were shirt pulls going on, there was all sorts going on. And yeah, it felt like we were the only team getting punished, albeit there was 2 for them late in the game. And then, you know, and like I say, we showed great character because we go down to, you know, they get their goal, we lose Laurie, and the thing today, we had just the 4 lads on the bench. One of them, Dan Naylor, who in the first minute of Saturday's game has obviously got some sort of concussion, because he seemed to feel he was okay Saturday, but he's turned up here today struggling. So the intention originally was not even to use him. And the truth is, our bench was, it's unfair to say, like we've got 2 17-year-olds on the bench, 2, you know, both come on, and poor Raf come on and played almost just mark their left back, and Peter did what Peter does, you know, he kept the ball as best he can. The one that made an impression was Ben, who I thought had done great, and ended up playing at left back. So, and then we showed great character to see it through the last 10 minutes, because they've got everything to go for. They've got to chuck him out, and they did. You know, we've made headers, challenges, tackles. People credit to everyone on the pitch. They have run themselves to a standstill, and we've ended up getting a result which I think today we deserved. You know. Was it our best? No, we didn't play anywhere close to how we performed on Saturday, in my opinion. But today it was 3 points. I think we needed the 3 points. It's not like the season had gone far, but I dare say the table looks nice with 4 points with us now, and moves us into the middle of the table, ready for our next one, which is going to be September some stage before we play League Go again. So we could, had we let this go even to a point today, we could have been not adrift, but you're trying to catch up a bit of time with your fixtures. So great from the boys, great character to dig in. People did work they wouldn't normally have to do. People made challenges they don't normally make, and you know, losing your skipper, great character, and Adam and Kamani sorted it out at the back, and Luke, and we got it over the line, and as I say, I thought we deserved it.
Skip.
There's not much for me.
No, I was just. I mean,
you asked all the questions.
Yeah, sorry about all the questions, obviously, but the fact that we haven't started the best, and I would say, I mean, even going in at half time, we were 2-0 up. I would suggest it wasn't pretty at times, and it wasn't our best, but you must be really pleased with the fact that you've had young Raf come on, young Pete come on, Ben's come on and had to fill in at left back and stuff. It does show, with our backs against the wall, that on another day maybe they get something out of the game, but the resilience we showed today was probably the most pleasing part of the performance, would you say?
100%. I mean, again, it's sort of gone, today's game's gone against the grain for the previous 4 or 5 this season, because we've started really well in other games and haven't scored. And then we've had the backs to the wall because we haven't took our chances. Today, we haven't started very well at all. Gave the lads in the team talk at the beginning not to gift any chances. Look for a clean sheet. Within 2 minutes, he's got a one-on-one. Within 3 minutes, he's got another one-on-one. So you're thinking, well, that's gone down well. But worked yourself into the game, took our 2 chances well. And so you go in at half-time, not having played very well, but winning 2-0. And then for the, I don't know, the first 25 minutes of the second half, we've controlled that game. We've played at our own tempo. We've took our time. We've played it quick where we fancied it, played it slow when we didn't have to. I thought we did everything spot on. And then I think the whole game changed, which Dave has alluded to, that penalty decision, which is where I've got to see that.
If that penalty's given and we score it, it's game over, isn't it? And then, I mean, even their goal that they've got back to 2-1, I mean, it was difficult to tell from the angle that I saw it, but it seemed to take a deflection and find its way into the corner. And all of a sudden, it just completely changes the complexity of the game. But as I say, from my perspective, I thought the resilience that we showed, particularly where you come into the game where we've drawn at Leighton when potentially we could have won. Aylesbury, we lost the game when potentially we should have won. But to get that over the line today, probably out of the 3, I would argue that was probably, as a polished performance, probably wasn't the best out of the 3. But to show that resilience is obviously a good sign moving forward.
Well, today's game, we've won that because we took our 2 chances, and then you've got something to hold on to. The fact that for the first 25 minutes of the second half, we were bordering on very, very good, doing everything correctly. Just even from silly things, from when you got the throw-ins, we were going down the line. You weren't taking risks throwing it inside. We were playing percentage football. We were going back to the keeper when required. We were going wide. It just did everything like a training session to a degree, because they were dangerous on the break. Let's not beat around the bush. When it did break down and they went forward quite quickly, I thought their strikers were a handful. So they're not a bad side. They're not the same side as last year. Everyone in the league knows that. You've only got to look at the personnel change. I think there's only 1, maybe 2 that played today that was from the Dunstable side last year. So they've had massive changes, but they're going to be half decent when he gets everything right. So it's a good win today, but the whole game's changed on, I don't know, 65th, 70th minute when Amir's been rolling down the side and he's cut inside. He's been took out by a keeper and a defender. He's rolling it into an empty net. So why has he gone down? And then from that, we probably showed a little lack of experience, because all of a sudden, everybody on the pitch is questioning decisions. They forgot what they were doing that was correct. They suddenly thought the world was against them. We didn't get the rub of the green. Then they've gone and scored a 25-yarder that's took a wicked deflection that's left our goalkeeper stranded. And then Laurie's, who'd been pushed into the advertising boards, comes off with concussion. Their bloke doesn't even get a speaking or a talking to. It was just, but look, let's look at the players. Outstanding, dug in, had something to hold on to, saw it out, and yeah, 2-3 years ago we might not get a point out of that game. Now we've walked away with 3, and it probably goes back to previous games, momentum. So we've won a couple of 3 cup games, picked up a good draw at Leighton. If you've lost 2 or 3 of those, you probably don't get the win today. So it's building momentum. So we go into next week's FA Cup game in good spirits, looking good. We've got 1 or 2 missing today that will be back. One injury that will be back. So we'll be at full strength next week.
But Dave, just finally, obviously Laurie didn't complete the game. He looked like a hefty collision with the advertising audience, and he wouldn't normally come off. No. What can you tell us about him? Is he okay?
He just said he had blurred vision. I mean, it was a pretty hefty fall, if you like, after he had his legs taken away and shoved into it, and he's hit his head there. So I say it's affected him. So we got, look, I don't know how that will affect him, because we've had a situation today with Dan Naylor, who's we didn't want to put on because he was still struggling from Saturday for a head challenge, and today, fingers crossed, Laurie will be okay. I mean, obviously I'll get in touch with Amy quite quickly and we'll get it assessed, but obviously not a player we can afford to miss. I'm hoping he'll be fine. You know, his brother's the clever one. His brother needs the brains, and Laurie does all the running for him. Should be okay.
And on that note, congratulations, obviously progress in the FA Trophy on Saturday, first 3 points in the league today, so all looking good. Going ahead to next Saturday when we take on Basel United in the FA Cup. So congrats gents, and enjoy your evening.
Thank you very much.